Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm leaning my head over like this because my bun is so huge and my camera frame it's a lot going on right now, but I'm here. You might have a portion of my head that's cut out from time to time because I have such a big head and then I had this big bun on the top of my head. Speaking of, if you have not checked out this hairstyle and how I did these styles like this one, I need you to go back and check that out and look at all the previous content that I've posted on my channel. Go back and look at that now. And in the meantime, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video because it's going to be a good one. And I hope that y'all enjoy it. Let's go. This is something that I was talking about the other day. Me and my sister, we were talking about this. And it has a lot to do with how we talk a lot about villages and we talk a lot about friendships and having a good sister circle, having your bros with you, your homeboys, your homegirls, and things like that. But how many people have been killed by, I wouldn't even say friendly fire, and when I say killed, I'm more so referring to purpose than the natural, but in many cases it's happened in the natural too, but let's just keep it here to just purpose. Dreams, goals, plans have been killed by people that were in your circle, people who you thought were your friend, people who you had inside of your village that you said, this is my person, they believe in me, they see me. And we in society, and this has gone on for a long time, we've always given the characteristics of our enemies. Or, well, your enemy will look like this. They won't clap for you. They won't smile for you. And I know if you've been on social media, you've probably seen these posts about notice the ones who don't clap for you. Notice the ones who sit back with their arms folded when you walk up on the stage. Notice this, notice that. But I've found that you can take those people a lot better most times. Not saying you got to go run with them and be trying to hang with them and things like that, but you can take them a lot better than those who are clapping, those who are cheering and saying, yeah, that's my girl, yeah, that's my boy. You know, you can take them a lot better because they're not being fake. They are literally letting you know, you ain't my person. I don't, me and you, I'm not happy that you got it. As opposed to the person who will sit there and inside their heart, they know they don't like you. They know they're not happy for you. They know they don't want you to succeed. But just to be able to continue to be a hindrance in your life because you have not identified them as being the real enemy or the real foe. They enjoy their placement because they have access to you. You confide in them. You tell them your dreams, your plans, your goals. When you have a weak moment or you have a vulnerable moment, they are often the ones that you go to. They are your secret keepers. They are your covenant. You enter into a covenant of brotherhood or sisterhood with them to the point that they cover you and you cover them. And many times for a lot of us, we wonder, well, what's going on in my life? Why is this happening or why is that happening? A lot of times it has to do with who you have next to you, those who are smiling, those who are in your circle. And that is why it's so important to pray and ask God. Some of the scriptures I'm coming from today will be coming from Proverbs, because Proverbs, it's so much wisdom in that book, literally for every aspect of life that you can live. I don't care where you're from, what culture, whatever. Proverbs has something for you in there. If you read that book, all 31 chapters, and you come back and tell me you can't find nothing to identify with, I'm looking at you crazy, because I'm like, you read the same thing I read, and none of that, you couldn't find anything in there that touched you, that challenged you, that motivated and pushed you to be better and to assess more. You have to be willing in this day and time that we are in. And oh my gosh, I remember being a kid hearing the old saints talking about day and time, and I said, oh my Lord, they just sound so old school. And now I'm sitting up here saying it, and I see why they said the things that they said when I was a child, because they knew that days like this would come. They knew that this day and time, the days that we were in were sure enough evil, twisted, dark. But now we're at that level times 10. And that is why it is so important for you to be on your purpose and know why you are here, and not fall into your selfish motives, because a lot of times it can be us, the things that we feel like we should be doing. And so we surround ourselves with people who speak our same language. You can't attract truth if you're not even walking in truth yourself. If you are living a lie as far as what you're doing, this ain't even something that God has told you to do. What you're pursuing is not even something that God told you to pursue. You're intentionally going out forming your plans your way. You don't want to hear anybody else's input on it because your way is your way. Then you attract what you are in those instances, because you'll attract people who will see that falsified personality or purpose that you possess, and they'll speak into that when that's not even what God is wanting you to do. And you can hit a brick wall with that, because You have people that speak against in your life who don't even know who you really are. You're just a version of who you think you should be, but you're in no way the version that God or the person that God has called you to be, which is two totally different things. And then on the other hand, you have people who you're walking in your purpose, and you're aiming for it, and you're doing the things, or trying to the best of your ability to do all the things that you need to do, but you have a problem with understanding who should be in your life and who shouldn't be in your life, who to hold up boundaries with, and who to kind of let cross over that boundary line into your heart, and knowing and speaking into you and where you should go and the decisions that you need to be making. It's so critical that we understand, and I say we because this is something that I have to learn. People think that just because you get older in age that, oh, you just know everything. No, you don't. You have to constantly and consistently be a teacher. You cannot become complacent. And I've read as much as I've been able to read about the great athletes, or the great this or the great that, from politics to whomever, just great people that I've skimmed through their stories, whether I'm on social media or whatever. And one of the great themes that rises up from all of their stories is that they never got complacent. They never became complacent in their life. Yeah, they may have been winning the Grammys, the Oscars, they might have been winning the championships or the World Series, but the reason they were continue to elevate on their craft is because they didn't get comfortable with the 2005 championship. They aimed to get better for oh 06, oh 07, oh 08, oh 09, 95, 94, 93, 92. They didn't get comfortable. And a lot of times the reason we don't have access to our greatest capabilities is because we get comfortable. We get one win and we sit back and fold our hands and say, hey, that's it. I've got it. I understand the keys to everything. I don't have to do anything else. And if you really pay attention to people who think and believe like that, they get sucked into a bubble where they look up 5, 10, 15 minutes later and everything has shifted and they don't know how it happened. They're the ones who are often complaining and talking about, oh, this new generation is messing everything up, and oh, this and oh, that. But instead of just admitting that they got comfortable and they let time pass them by, and they didn't take time to stay up on things, to realize changing trends, to see how the world is changing and what's new coming up on the scene. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to be well versed in everything, but at least keeping yourself current, constantly perfecting your craft, not changing the formula, but learning how to allow it to adapt to the current stages that we're currently in and even beyond is something that every good business knows how to do. If you don't look at how to rebrand and restructure the image, again, not changing the formula, but just switching up how you interact and how you contact people, how you reach people where they are, then you get stuck in the past and you don't know how to make it out of that bubble because you've been there for so long. One of the keys to greatness is that we must realize how to go in with the changing times and still be relevant. It's not saying that you have to pick up every trend and pick up everything that you see everybody else is doing, but you have to constantly be in a place where you're learning and you're growing. My father and my mother, they are forever learners. I love sitting at their feet and listening to what they have to say because they are always learning and figuring out new ways to do things. They're always so open. They're not so stuck in back in the day that they can't realize what's happening today and see how these principles, still same formula, but how we can adopt them in today's times. And so I went off a bit for that to bring it back to the point of that is why it's so important that you know who you are with. A lot of times I was listening to someone say this a few weeks ago. We go after relationships for the image. If they have a certain look that fits our look or a look that we want to have, we go after people. We go and pursue friendships with those people based off of the image instead of what's on the inside. And when you're going off of image, it might be cute for a couple Facebook and Instagram photos. It might be cute for some Snapchats and things like that. But one day life is going to happen. Life is going to happen to us all. I don't care your age, your this, your that. Life is going to happen. And in those moments, you are going to need people that can speak life into your purpose and remind you to stay on your mark. If more people had honest individuals in their lives who looked at them when they were in their wrong, even though they might not have liked it, because I know when I'm not right, I know I don't like it when the people that I have in my life that have that ability to correct me and chasten me, I don't like it when they look at me and say you were wrong. I'm like, no, I wasn't. But they're like, no, you were wrong. And they're not coming from a place of jealousy or, oh, I just don't want to see her doing nothing. No, they care about me. They care. One of my favorite scriptures in Proverbs, I believe it's the 3rd chapter, it talks about how God says, just as a father chastens his son, God chastens those whom he loves. Just because a father is getting on his son about something, it doesn't mean that he hates his son. He loves his son, especially if it's in an area that father know he struggled in. He is going to chasten that child and tell them, no, you be better than me. You don't do that. I expect more from you because I want you to be better than I am, or I was back when I did that. And a lot of times when you can't take correction, or you have trouble receiving it because you are so good at your craft, you are so great in your lane, you can sometimes feel like, oh, well, why are they just chipping off at me? That's just refining you to make you better. And trust me, like I said, I'm not the cheerleading champion for chastening and correction, because it doesn't feel good. It stings. It burns, because you can really feel like in that moment you made the right decision, you did the right thing. And then when your mentor, when your sister, when your boy comes to you and they not smiling, and the reason they not smiling is because it's not because they hating on you. They looking at you like, that was foul, that was wrong. No, you were wrong. You were wrong in that. And you like, why you gotta be like that? Why can't you see my side? And they're like, no, those are the best relationships. You know why? Because there is truth, there is honesty, there's that harmony where I want to see you be better. I don't want to see you in that. I know you can be better than that. I'm not gonna co-sign you in your wrong. Oh my gosh. My mommy and my daddy, when they used to tell me that growing up, ooh, and even now, if I'm wrong, ooh, they're not gonna co-sign me. Not them. Not my mama and daddy. They're not gonna co-sign nothing that's wrong. They're gonna look at you square in your face and say you were wrong. And although I don't like receiving that, do you know how much better my life has become? Because I've had them do that with me, even if I didn't like it, even if I was like, okay, I still knew that they were right. Because if you love somebody, if you truly say you're in their life for the right reason, you are not going to be that yes man or that yes girl. You're not going to look at them and know that what they just did was wrong and still tell them you were right. But you know the people who do that? The people that don't want to see you doing nothing, the people that want to see you fall, they'll look right at you. They can hear the plot, they can hear the plan, they can hear you saying, oh yeah, I'm about to do this, and they'll sit right there and smile and say, okay, go do it. They'll encourage you to do it just so they can go back and tell everybody, y'all think y'all know Janessa, but y'all don't know her. This is another whole side. She does this on the side, and people are like, oh, I thought she was so, and they like, mm-mm. It's to fulfill their own poison, twisted theory about you. They have a characterization of you in their minds, and you haven't fulfilled it just yet, but they're patient with it. They wait because they have to dethrone you so that way they can say, she went out of there no way, and I'm justified in not liking her. I'm justified in not liking him. They want to be the only man, the only woman on the show. They don't want no other people on there with them. If they gotta throw you down, they gonna throw you down. And a lot of times, this is the next part. They friends with the people that sitting and don't. They just show you that they don't like you. A lot of times, the ones that smile in your face are cool with those people. How do you think the more outward enemies know your every move? They know what you're about to do. They know what you're saying. They know what's going on behind the scenes. How are they that involved and y'all don't even talk like that? Somebody inside the camp, it's a mole, and you have to accept that. You can't. That's why image is so tricky. It's tricky for multiple reasons, but if I had to say one of the key reasons why it's so tricky, it has to be that. Because you are more willing to keep a person based off of how they look or the money in their bank account as opposed to how they really are on the inside. If you really sat people down and asked them, did you know? Did you know? If they wanted to be honest, they shake their head and say yes. Whatever you would present to them about that person wouldn't come as a surprise, because their conscience, the God has already been revealing to them and showing them that person ain't your friend. They not your friend. You might want to watch her. It's not your friend. Be careful. You might want to watch, cut it off. And God in his grace, he will even create scenarios to break the relationship up just so that you no longer have that tie to that person. And us with our crazy selves, we manufacture a way to get back in with that person. We go reignite that relationship. God already shut it down. Because he wants you. He wants you on your purpose. He wants you to be focused. But we sometimes we're so lost in trying to be popular, trying to be liked, and trying to be this and trying to be that, that we will go and yoke ourselves with people. We'll go back and do it again. We'll go pick that relationship back up again based off of image and what it can do for us. We'll go pick it back up when God already gave us the door. He opened the door and gave us the access to walk out. And I'll be doggone if we don't walk back in. We'll stay gone for about 10 minutes, then we'll circle the block, and then we'll post it up on social media, or we'll tell people around us, oh, we went through a little phase where we were angry with each other, but we back together. And the whole time, I imagine God is just like, the reason y'all broke up the first time is because I did it. Now you went back. And God gives us the grace. He understands, like I was reading today in Romans 8, I was reading the easy version. I like reading different versions just because it expounds and builds on the King James version, and it puts it in terms and ways that it blows my mind. So I like reading the easy version. And one of the things that it kept saying was, we are weak and human. He gets that we are weak and human. And I dare say it's real slow and silly at times too. But he gets it, and his grace covers us. But there are even times with that when we can even push past that, and it can be detrimental for us. Because if you keep getting warnings, if we keep getting warnings about this person, about this thing, and we keep going back and back and back and back, going into the snare, going into that camp, going into that trap, and we know what we feel, we know what God has been revealing, he'll send people who don't even know you, that'll tell you something that you know. They don't know why they're telling you, but you know why they're telling you that. And if you continue to make those intentional choices about still being with that person, you got to take the consequences for that. I got to take the consequences for that. I got to. Y'all know growing up, mom and daddy only told us so many times. Granny, auntie, uncle only said it so many times. But then that belt was going to come out because I told you to stop. I'm going to tell you once. Okay, you're going to keep doing it. Okay, stop. Keep telling. Then ultimately, we're just going to get this belt. We're gonna close it out with the belt. We just going to close it out with the belt. If not the belt, we're going to do some punishment. You punished for 2 weeks. You on punishment for 2 weeks. No allowance. Oh, you're not going to that party? Because you're not listening to me. You're not doing what I told you to do. And let's go back to Proverbs 3. Who God loves, he chastens. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. That's John 3:16. So God loves you. God ain't going to tell you what you want to hear. He going to tell you what you don't want to hear. But that's the beauty of our walk and our relationship with Jesus Christ, is that in the same way, like I just said about my parents, it's the same way with that. It's stuff God has said to me, and I'm like, I just be kind of sitting there like, Because when God is loving on me and telling me the positives about Janessa, oh, smile from here to here, baby. Smile is big, because Texas is so big. But when he starts, yeah, I need that corrected. You were wrong. Nope. Don't even look at me and think that was good, because it wasn't good. When he gets to that point with me, I just be like, oh. But because I'm in this relationship with him, I want to do more. I want to get better. It don't mean that I'm going to be perfect. It don't mean that I'm not going to make mistakes. But I'm going to do better next time. Like, I'm aiming to do better next time. I'm aiming that the next time this might come up again, I'm going to think a little bit clearer about it before I react, or before I do it. Or I'm going to talk to God a little bit more. I'm not going to lean into my own understanding, but in all my ways, I'm going to acknowledge him. I'm going to acknowledge him. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to go to him and be like, God, I'm struggling with this. This is a weak area. I'm weak and human, Romans 8. I'm weak and I'm human. I am this way. And then when you are praying that way and you're making those confessions, God will then send you people into your life that can help cultivate and grow you. And as the scripture says, I believe in Proverbs, Iron sharpens iron. They sharpen you, you sharpen them. It's not just this one-sided way where they all in your life just worshiping you and making sure you be great and good, and then you don't do nothing back with them. No, that's a beauty. That's the beauty of relationship, especially when you have those covenant relationships. We sharpen each other, we push each other, and we enter into an agreement where even when we have our good times, but like I said a minute ago, but when you start getting on me about something and telling me something that I need to do better, I have to be open to receive it, because we are in that covenant and we've both made that decision that we can speak into each other like that. And image cannot be on the table. We cannot go for the social media aesthetic or the outside world attraction aesthetic of what a friend group or a covenant relationship should look like. I have seen beautiful friendships and relationships with people who are polar opposite from each other image wise, but when I tell you that they are so close, they are so thick, they don't have to say blood, they're not related, but you wouldn't be able to tell it because they walk so in sync with each other like that. Like, it's unbelievable. But they have that relationship because it's not about what's on the outside, it's what's on the inside. It's not about what's on the inside of the bank account. It's not because of who they're related to or what their last name is. It's because God has placed us in each other's lives for whatever season this might be, for however long we have each other. We're here together. I love you like my sister. I love you like my brother. We have that openness with each other. We've been through seasons in each other's lives where it's been happy, where it's been sad, where there's been grief, where there's been sorrow. We've held each other down. We've had misunderstandings. We've had arguments. Because guess what? That's a part of relationships too. All these people that say they don't argue, I'm scared of them. Because a real relationship, y'all gonna argue. Because we're not the same. But we argue with respect. It's never disrespect. I don't have to hit you below the belt in order to get my point across. I can respect you, but respectfully disagree. And we can have an argument and hash it out. We might not speak to each other for a few minutes, but guess what? You still my brother, and if you call me and tell me somebody is messing with you, I got you. If you tell me, hey, I'm mad at you, but let's go get some ice cream. Let's go get some ice cream. Can we normalize that? Can we do that? I think we can, because that is the beauty of relationship. We grow with each other, we learn each other, and we get to a point to where our relationship 10 minutes ago or even 10 days ago is not the same way that it is now, because we're constantly learning and growing. And that's what I was saying a minute ago about my relationship with God. Been in church all my life, saved as a child. But do I have the same relationship with God that I had when I was 12, 11, 10 years old? No, it's so different. It's grown so much. We've been through so much together. But the beauty of it is that we've remained, well, I've remained constant as I can be. God has always been there and never changed. It's been me that's been slacking and messing up and going and coming and then coming and going. This whole revolving 360 thing. But God has been patient with all of those cycles. He's been patient with me. And I've been learning. And guess what? I'm still not finished yet. I still got more to learn. I still got more to do. I still have much more to learn about God. I have so much more, but I love this relationship and I'm committed to it. And so that is why you need to sit down and really assess who's in your life and what value they have. Why are you friends with this person? Really see why. Is it because of this or is it because of that? You know, ask God even, because you might be confused and be like, well, I really do like them. They seem like a good person. Well, pray and ask God, ask the Holy Spirit to show you, well, am I wrong? Or who should I be? Who and what should be in my life at this time? And don't throw people to the side just because when you enter into new seasons, you forget about those who may have started out with you, because you're now in an element where these people fit your aesthetic or they fit where you are, and you forget about those who they might not be in those same rooms as you, but y'all have that true friendship, but you throw them off because now we're a totally different crowd and you don't fit in with this crowd, so I have to let you go. It's so much to unpack, and maybe we'll do a part 2, but I'm on my lunch, I'm on my break. So I just wanted to drop in and have this chit chat with you. We have to be so intentional about it. So sit down and really assess this and think about it and come to a conclusion. And hopefully this conclusion will lead you in the right direction instead of the wrong direction, because we need to be in the place where God wants us to be. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this talk, and I will talk to y'all later. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and catch up on some of the other videos that I have posted on here. I hope that y'all have a fantastic day. I am dressed in blue and white. This is my white. I'm dressed in blue and white because tomorrow is the 4th of July. So happy 4th of July, y'all. And I will talk to y'all on the next video, okay? Bye.